Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. We are taking the skid steer across the road to fuel it up this morning. Sorry for my voice. Every once in a while I completely lose my voice when I'm trying to talk. I'm still trying to get over this cold. So we're going to be cleaning out the heifer barn today. If you're new to these videos, by the way, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Taylor and I work in a dairy farm in Maine with my boss Brent. We only milk like 70 cows. Very small for today's dairy world, but that's the way we like it since it's just two of us. Definitely more of a family farm kind of size, though technically I'm not really family, but it's that same kind of feeling in a small farm. So if you enjoy watching those kind of videos, don't forget to subscribe and join us for more future videos. The more I keep talking, the more chances are I'm gonna lose my voice. So let's get the skid steer over there and fuel it up so we can go out and clean the heifer barn. First, Brent is taking the Kubota over and he's delivering a couple loads of aged manure from the outside of the heifer barn that we put there like last fall. He's delivering that to a neighbor, and that's going to make room for us to put new manure there, which will then break down and we'll give to the neighbors or spread off sometime when we can spread. It's supposed to rain all week and it was just starting to dry out a little bit. You guys can probably tell that field across the road is drying out really, really well. Also, I had to put away my snowmobile. This looks very out of place right now. Yeah, it was doing really, really good job of drying up, but it looks like that's all going to be coming to an end with this week's rain. That's close enough, but we'll see. These are full. Alright, so now that we got that done, I think I'm just supposed to wait for Brent to come back. And he's going to take the skid steer over and I'm going to take the Kubota over. I think he's going to put a bunch of sawdust in my bucket because I think we're not going to be using the Kubota for helping clean out. We're just taking the sawdust over with it, and then we'll bed the barn after we get done cleaning out with the skid steer. He also told me to bring the drill because I think we put an extra curtain over the outside door because it was so cold this winter. So I brought two bits because I'm not sure which one it is. I got the torque bit and then a regular Phillips bit. So I don't know which one it is, but I'll have both just in case he needs either one. I'll put this right in the skid steer right now so I don't forget to bring it. By the way, if any of you are wondering, this skid steer Brent bought that's hard to say. Brent bought brand new, say that 3 times fast, in 2004. And it's never had any engine work done to it. It's had random things done, like it's had the handles for the steering redone like 2 or 3 times, and just random things, extra hoses. I don't think I've ever had a hydraulic pump on it or anything. No bearings in the tires, but it has 5,468 hours, and like I said, no engine work. Never had a wheel bearing in it. It's been a great machine. Highly recommend Gale skid steers if you're looking for something. I mean, I don't obviously know how they are now, but if they were still made like this, definitely recommend. This has been a workhorse of a skid steer. It's only like 35 horse, I think. It's a 3635. They made a model that's exactly the same that's called a 3935, but it's a higher horsepower. I think it's like 40 something horse, and this, like I said, is the 35. but it's like the same frame. It's basically the same skid steer. I think it does have bigger tires on it, but it's the same skid steer, and Brent could have gotten that because that would also fit in our barn, but that's the reason he got this skid steer, such a small one. It's the only thing that fits under the pipeline of our tie stall barn, so that's why he ended up with this. I'm not even really sure if you could get one nowadays that would actually, like a brand new one that would fit in that barn. We were kind of curious and we were looking it up, and we couldn't really come to any conclusions of whether or not you could actually get a small one now. We were gonna change the tires on this and put 16-inch rims on it because we needed new rims, and the rims that are on it are very hard to find. But we were worried the tires weren't gonna fit on it after we did that. I think they would, because like I said, the 3935, which is the same thing, does have bigger tires on it. It has 16-inch rims instead of, I think these are 15s. And you can tell, like if you look at a picture of one, that the tire is literally like that far away from the frame. So I think we could have done that if we'd wanted to, but we just went with these old rims for now. You can see they're bent, turned up, don't really look that good. It's kind of weird. We live in the middle of nowhere and a Pepsi truck is going by. Yeah, if we did eventually need new tires, I mean obviously we're eventually going to need new tires, we may possibly get different rims next time because these ones are so beat up. And I think it would be easier for us to go with 16-inch rims instead of the 15s. So it was a long, boring explanation you guys probably didn't want to hear, but there you have it anyway. So I hear Brent coming back now. Okay. He's got to drive that over there, so I'm going to give him a 15-minute head start, and I might take a little nap in the tractor. Alright, it has been... Hold on. It has been 15 minutes just about, so we're gonna head over. I gotta go over pretty slow anyway because I got a whole bucket of sawdust, so I don't want to lose half of it on the way over there. Actually, we'll go ahead because too bad. Some of the other ones, they obviously use far more, so I have to use the shovel instead of the rake to get the manure out of them. Almost cleaned out. He's got all the hay cleaned up from where the feeder is, and I got all the stalls hoed out on this side. Now I gotta do the long side. One of the most common questions we get asked by you guys is how come we don't section off some of the stalls. There's only like 6 heifers down here right now. There'll be almost 10 when we bring over the rest. If you know anything about young cows especially, if you section something off, that is like inviting them to try to get in there and hurt themselves. The reason we don't do that is because we really only clean it out like once every 2 months, and you can see it is not that dirty. So letting them have all the stalls, just like if they get some dirty, they can lay in another stall. It just keeps it so they have more options. Yes, we have more to clean out when we come over here, but I guarantee if you sectioned off a bunch of these stalls, you can't section off a whole side because we have to have both sides because they have a feeder on either side, and cows are bullies and they will push each other away from the feed if they have a half a chance to do so and starve each other to death. So you have to have both sides. So we would have to just section off like a whole side of stalls by using gates or something. Doing something like that is just pretty much a recipe for disaster when you have cows, because it likes a moth to a flame when you have something that they're not supposed to get to. I think in their head they're like, there must be a reason they don't want me to have that, and it must be because it's amazing, so I'm gonna get on the other side of that or do whatever it is that you don't want them to do. And that's why we don't section off the barn, because it would probably just be more trouble than it was worth. 2 seconds, the cows will be coming around. Yep, there they are. Biggest first.
Hey, let me just dump it up there.
Somebody is demolishing my sawdust pile. This is the biggest one down here. There's one that's close to her size, that's the oldest belted. Ah, there she is right there. Thank you. There you go. I was worried about how I was going to get that all strewed out. Appreciate it. Come on. Everybody back. Everybody back. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. You too. Come on. I know. Hi.
Try it.
Good morning, guys.
Another thing, if we ever get this going, we're gonna put that new battery shut off. We got that's the better one.
That's a weird one right there.
Weird one. It's all messed up.
The mechanic is coming today. Yay! But ow! I just hit my head.
See if you get anything.
Nothing.
Okay. Now
I just want to make sure the Massey will start this morning.
Hold on now.
Yep. So I'm gonna try it.
Yeah. No.
Nope. So we gotta hook the jumper up to it, get it running. We might just leave it and let it idle for quite a while to charge itself. What's that? Yeah, they're brand new batteries.
This working and does that? Huh.
It's a weird clicking sound. Should start now.
Try it again.
So we're gonna jump it with a truck because apparently that little booster doesn't have enough to get this going. This actually has 2 batteries like the International, and they're brand new. The guy before us that bought it had put them in. and it hasn't really been run much. The alternator does work because when you run it for a while, it will charge itself and you can start it up again. We also took the air filter out the other day and something made a mess of it right there. I think the mice got into it and chewed on it probably over the winter. Before we had bought it, it had sat for a winter. And yeah, that's probably what happened. So there was a bunch of stuff in there that we cleaned out. So we'll probably have to get in a new air filter.
Good news about the mashing.
Yeah, I'll let Brent tell you.
Well, we had good news about the mashing. I believe it's just the turbo. Yep. It's all gone to pieces. So we're going to order a turbo. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the rest of the engine.
We won't really know until we get the turbo off, but the turbo is definitely bad.
Oh,
so
yeah. I think
that is probably what's wrong.
Yeah.
It's leaking oil right into it's just right by it.
Yeah, I think that's what ails it.
Yep.
Hopefully that's just it. And then we can tackle the PTO and the high and low range.
Yep.
I got one step closer.
Yeah, so finally got some answers. And this guy's really good, really nice. He's not our usual mechanic, but he seems like a really nice guy and seems like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
so
we got just gonna order a turbo Monday.
Yep.
Probably be like 300 or 400.
I think they're like around 400 or 500 or something like that.
But I really don't think there's anything wrong with the engine other than that.
So
that'll make quite a difference.
That's all we wanted to tell you guys.
Yeah. And we'll tackle the PTO and then the high-low range. And if we get that, the Dynashift works. I don't think the high-low range is that big a deal. I don't know. It seems like somebody told us it's a cover with the rod. The high and low range is just a mechanical rod that goes in and out of the base or something.
Yeah.
I don't guess. Transmission goes in and out, so maybe it's just...
She's like waving those chips around. I'm going to get one.
I don't know.
Hello. High-low.
You don't have to break the tractor to for the PTO.
No, it's just got a box on the back you take off.
We're one step closer.
So.
Hopefully.
AKA, it looks like the Massey's going to stay.
Yeah.
And hopefully be a good tractor, be my mowing tractor.
Yeah. Yes. I think it's a good tractor. Get it fixed out.
So. Oh, also. New coveralls. Somebody sent me new coveralls. I haven't worn them yet because I'm afraid to get them dirty. Which is sad because I know that's what they're for. But anyway, keep it real, keep farming. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.